My ex-husband was a master at apologizing in a way that would make me apologize and make me believe that it was all my fault. Now, if you know me, you know that my husband ended up being a child predator, and when I found out, I reported him and he went to prison. But prior to that, I was in a DV situation with him for 7 years. And one of the biggest things that I remember happening, probably because it happened pretty close to when I finally was able to escape him, was he had sent me to Wingstop to go and get us some wings, obviously. And when I had picked up our order, they had kind of dropped the bag and I didn't think anything of it, and so I brought it home with us. And when I got home and opened the bag, all of his honey mustard sauce had spilled everywhere. It was on everything, and he lost it. He threw our trash can. All of our trash went all over the floor. And then he proceeded to start pulling things out of our cabinet, throwing them on the ground, and just crushing them with his feet. And obviously, I had a normal reaction. I said, "What are you doing? Why are you behaving like a child?" And his response was, "How could you let this happen? How can you drop a bag of food and cause all of this to be all over our food? This was a lot of money. How could you not think about this? Why would you bring this bag home and expect me to eat it?" And the way he yelled at me, like, it made me immediately go into fight or flight. And my coping mechanism, the only way I knew how to survive this, was apologize, 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 apologize. And the more you apologize, the more you start to think that all of this is your fault. Because yeah, he was right. Why did I bring it home? I saw them drop it and I still brought it home. Why didn't I open the bag and check? And so he got me questioning everything that I had done wrong. And so that was kind of the theme in our marriage, was he would progressively do more and more that was wrong and awful, but I wouldn't question it because he would come back to me and he'd have me questioning why I was such a terrible wife. And so that is how he managed to get me to apologize for most of the DV in our marriage, and why when I reported him and had to go before NCIS to discuss what he had done, and they were trying to get me to also push for charges of DV and SA, I had to be talked into it, because at the time I just really didn't believe that's what was happening to me. And a lot of that was because he had basically brainwashed me into believing that none of this was his fault, it was all my fault. And that is how a narcissist really traps you, I think, is they just convince you that this is your fault. And their apologies will never be genuine. They don't apologize. And I keep seeing it on TikTok, how some people are talking about how a narcissist apologizes and how they beg for you to forgive them. And at least for me, that's not my case. In my case, he never begged for forgiveness. He didn't believe he needed it. And it was always me that was begging for forgiveness for the craziest things that weren't my fault.